we're back with another episode. And can you believe February is already here? Where does the time go? So, I want to take you back to last week. I went for a lovely dinner at this amazing restaurant called Ceru in South Kensington. Modern Middle Eastern restaurant. Now, to set it up, I invited friends who I've known since college days to come together and let's just, see what it's like, life after university. Atmosphere is key for what I'm about to share with you. So there we are. We are from different ethnicities, different cultures, different backgrounds, different social backgrounds as well. And sitting on this table, we ended up discussing about politics, even more precise. Of course, we had to touch upon the US politics and what is it going to impact our own lives. But also, don't you just notice that there is a lot of changes going on right now, especially in the economical areas of our personal lives? Now, me being me and believing in Chinese New Year, it's the year of the snake. So I always think that a snake is shedding its skin and is somehow or the other is a new beginning. But when you shed something, it's a little bit chaotic. Somehow or the other, what I'm about to say even shocks myself. But with Trump coming in, it has really shaken everybody up to re-look inside of themselves. Is this it? Is this how they want to be? Is this meaning to life? And where are we going to go together? And to me, this makes sense with what we are all experiencing at the moment. Change is uncomfortable. It brings chaos. It challenges our inner beliefs. Also, what do we need to let go of and not let go of? It also challenges our traditions and values. And shedding skin is not easy. So really much like the year of the snake, new beginnings. But in order for that to happen, things have to be let go and be shedded. So sitting on a table, of course, with all these different cultures, sharing plate and having a conversation over politics, you could sense a little bit of that uncomfortable tension looming around. And of course, me being the hostess, I went into complete okay, let's navigate this. Let's navigate this as a facilitator. And so I started thinking about way back when I was a yoga teacher. After every class, I used to invite people from differences to say this thing called dedication of merit, and it's based off a Buddhist philosophy or a Buddhist training where we wish each other well, but also that we all have a sense of equanimity. And the reason I touch upon this word equanimity, because everybody always asks me, why am I obsessed with this word? And this word is very interesting because it means having the mental calmness to go through difficult situations. And it's pretty apt because in yoga itself, the practice is not about stretching your butt, but it's about getting back and relaxing your physical body so that you can sit with these chaoticness inside of us. So sitting there on that table, my instinct went right back into be a facilitator and bring a sense of mental calmness on the table. And navigating such conversations, although difficult, it's easy to go into let's avoid it, let's ignore it. Maybe just let's not talk about it because it makes other people feel very emotional about it. But there is another side to this, which is the importance of actually disagreeing and talking our perspectives. Because in some ways, for many years, even as technology evolved at such a rapid pace, it brought different cultures together. I mean, today we do virtual communication. I'm on WhatsApp and I talk to my family who are in different countries. It is it is only natural that we have different ways of seeing our lives because we're also in different countries and different countries process information differently and individually as well. So it helped me think about what I'm going to be talking about this month, actually, which is about the value of disagreeing and how we can find the agreements or the going forwardness in a disagreement. So I want to take you back why this is important for me. When I was growing up, I was always told to curb basically my mouth because I was very vocal and I would ask a lot of why. Why do I have to accept this? Why do I have to do something that someone tells me to do? And as an Asian girl raised in a modern Western world, you weren't really allowed to ask those questions either. You had to obey. But there was something very painful about that, which was over time, you become very self aware or self conscious that you don't agree with a lot of the things that are being done. And then when you do speak up, society will start labeling you as the one that is, mouthy or rebellious. And it did play an effect on my mental health for quite a while. But even as I overcame this and I started going to debating, I learned the value on how to frame it even better. But even more so, my mentor, Paul, who will be this month's podcast guest, shared with me that there is a power on being able to argue to see the other person's perspective. And when you see the other person's perspective, of course, you can understand where they're coming from. You get the time and opportunity to even reflect and maybe even adjust or be flexible with your own perspective. And doing this debating, I noticed with all the theatricals around it, people would over exaggerate. You do need some certain set of rules to respect and abide by. What I did not appreciate was that in the debating forum, it wasn't about debating to get to a better understanding or a better perspective, but it was all about the winning. And I think in the world that we live in already, that is so competitive and so much of comparison, having more of that winning approach mindset may not just be the right thing for now. Doesn't mean it's always just for now, or there's a time and place for it. But did you know, which I only discovered not too long ago, a couple of years ago, was that the monks used to debate as a form of their practice to becoming monks? And also in the conversation with Paul, not to give it much away, Jesuits used to debate as well. And I was like, wow, I'm really fascinated by this. And so there are key differences where these can come in really handy. For example, the Buddhist debate can really help with rapid back and forward exchanges, also how to sharpen your thinking, being in the moment, embracing uncertainty and change, but most of all, building that resilience in conflict. And if you think about it in the way the world is today, these are some of the skills we could really benefit from. While the Jesuits' debates focus more on logic, and the last one, which is most common, is Socratic debate, which focuses on, challenging assumptions and biases, which is also really necessary today. So if you think about it, sitting down and being quiet with yourself is really great. But in this world that we live in today and things happen so fast, you want to be really present to how to speak back or, respond back. And having these qualities with ourselves can support us as we move forward. I mean, not constantly taking things personally, being able to listen to different perspectives, and also more than anything, evaluate it in a split second. I think these are really relevant, don't you think? And recently, maybe it's just me, but I've been receiving a lot of emails of more and more forums opening up, bringing back on these debating and saying very clearly that there's a need for critical thinking and opening our minds to different perspectives, values, and beliefs. And not to forget about different ideas and points of thinking. But also, there's something that I think we are not realizing, that AI is here, and that is another form of language. And it's so easy for us to get caught up in it as if it's the truth. And having these tools can really support us. I mean, I'm going to give you an example. I recently introduced my friend on how to use AI, and he got so excited about it. And he wanted to just copy and paste it. And I had to warn him about just read it through first. It can be so convincing, but we need to step back and look at it and not take it just for what it is. It's so easy with AI to start placing our confidence elsewhere, and that can do something very deeply inside of us and break ourselves away from that self inner trust. And that is why critical thinking is necessary, the patience to analyze and look at things and sharpen our inner self so that when we speak not just to others but also through AI, we become better communicators rather than lazier communicators. Because that can have consequences. And to me, this is the mental calmness. This is the equanimity, which can be much more fruitful in the world we find ourselves in. So, in the month of February, while everybody's going to be talking about loving and roses and flowers and kisses and all that jazz, I would like to invite you to think about actually what really makes a relationship be stronger, resilient, and also how to manage your mental calmness, that equanimity within yourself. So I look forward to sharing this month with you. And again, if you want to have a great conversation with someone, go to Ceru's. Trust me, it's a very nice place. I will place the link in the show notes. And whenever you're in London, do check it out. It's in South Kensington. Other than that, do follow my podcast, share it out with others. It does help getting the word out there. And also, if you haven't yet, join my newsletter where I am building extra resources and more of my tips on how to talk, how to think, and how to thrive in this world. Have a good February.